Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston, Chester. Glad you're with us this morning. Got a big show lined up. But first, let's take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and his hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today 80, low 69. Water temperature dropped a couple of degrees down to 77. So that's been interesting. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, how we've had this influx of tarpon the last couple of weeks, and we'll show you over the water chart exactly what happened on that. Let's take a look at our river readings brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. The Apalachicola Bluntstown reading of 6.4 this morning, and the Choctaw Caribbean 4 foot even. Both of them in good shape. We might have some heavy rain coming in, but we just have to just go day by day on our river reading. So right now they're in good shape. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. How about Thursday, June the 1st? Good tide today, this weekend, all of next week, and the first week of June. That's what I was telling y'all about these charts here. Put it on the refrigerator. You can plan your whole month of June as far as if you like to fish in this tidal water here. I want to say a good morning to Sarah. She works down at Rich's IGA in the produce department down there in Weewall, and she watches the show every morning and just outgoing, and she's got a great personality, willing to help and talk to you. So good morning, Sarah. Appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. Our wind today is going to be coming out of east-northeast around 12. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take care of some outdoor announcements for the Panhandle Outdoorsman here because it's important to us. We keep up with everything going on. And sometimes it's with as much going on, sometimes that's a challenge. Number one, I want to let you know that Mexico Beach boat ramp is back open on the main road going to it. There was a detour for a while, but it is open. I went by there the other day, and they were doing a lot of construction on that road, neighborhood area. But it's open now, so you can go in the regular way at Mexico Beach boat ramp. Number two, real-time fisheries. Gal and I stopped there the other day and had lunch, and I love visiting with them, and I love looking at fresh seafood. I always get some fresh seafood when I'm eating there. But real-time fisheries, they do take the EBT cards. They wanted me to remind you of that. So you want to get some fresh fish, have some EBT cards. They do take those. Number three. Announcement number three, very important. Snapper season is open today in federal waters, so we'll start seeing some pictures, and we plan on going Saturday. Hope this weather not too swirly and windy and all. We just don't know what's going to happen with that. But also with snapper opening, triggerfish is closing. So just stay up on top of all those rules and regulations that we need to go by. Be an law-abiding outdoorsman. Now I got all kind of pictures and well, the old timers said cards and letters are coming in, and now we have emails coming in and text. So I want to read this. This is Terry G. He's originally from Chicago, a former Navy pilot. He works Sundays only at Blue Water, but he watches the show every day. He sends us a lot of pictures, lives down there in Gulf County on the creek and living a dream. But he has a deep appreciation of nature, and he's a very loyal viewer and is good about giving us good input. I'm going to read this to you, then I want to show you the pictures, okay? Hey, Coach, Cynthia and I took a walk at the Cape Stump Hole. We had 5 tarpon swim alongside us for quite a while. Saw 2 schools of pompano swim by, an eagle nest, and a freshly dug turtle nest. What we didn't see was almost as good. No construction, no traffic, no people, and no black flies. We live in a special place. A walk like that makes an 80-year-old feel like a kid again. Smelling the roses, Terry. So now I want to show you, that is a good reflection of what's going on. I want to show you what he's been talking about because here's the views he had right here. This is Stump Hole, and just walking down, and the water is so beautiful in that particular part. This is part of Eglin Air Force Base property, and that's why you don't see all this crazy construction and all, but just nature, how we see why it's called a stump hole. The erosion is caught up with it. Now here are the look at the turtle tracks. Nobody's seen this, okay? See where the turtle come out? It laid his egg. Okay, they got it marked up there. They don't mark a big area, but what a neat place to lay. And that was a smart mama to lay there, because there's not going to be a lot of people there coming there to bother it. So that's that one. And let's see, then he had okay, that was it right there. All of those in line there. Now, okay, we're talking about the beauty and the nature and everything natural and all, but that's undisturbed by man, because it's not a lot of people going there. There's no litter or anything like that. It's a beautiful place. I would recommend it for y'all to go walking there. Now let's go on the other end of the spectrum. Mark Bell sent this. He took a little trip down Spring Creek, and anyway, this guy was throwing beer bottles in the woods, and the guy said, anyway, they had some words, but anyway, look at the trash. Look at the trash. This is the other end of the spectrum. He was able to pick up all these cans in the water. People just throwing beer cans in it now. Is not make you sick? And look at there, right on top. I don't know, y'all may be big beer drinkers or not, but if you're going to drink beer, at least throw your can away in trash can and take care of nature. It just makes me sick to see that. It makes all of us that love nature sick to see this kind of stuff going on. All right, talking about the summer, first day of summer, Cassie Owens King, take a little girl out fishing. Look at that big old smile. All right, even gets, look at this, look at the sun. They caught this on rod and reel. Of course, they released it, but that is a huge snapping turtle, folks. That's here in Florida Panhandle now. Look at there. You see where it looked like? Can y'all see where? Look at that where it bit. I mean, that's why they call it snapping turtle. Look at there. You don't want your finger there, because you're going to come back with half of it. And here it is again. They're taking it back out to release them. But they did catch some good fish, and that's a good first day of summer up there. Cassie Owens King. All right, we got to try. Y'all recognize this face, Bobby Smith. I went by there the other day to see him, and Bobby, I had a good talk with him, and of course he's always informing me exactly what's going on with the bass fishing. I don't think anybody knows as much as he does about bass fishing from day in and day out. I want to share with you, he's already caught bass number 58,000. Remember, we filmed 57,000 back during Christmas holidays, but he's already, or maybe spring break. Was it spring break? Maybe it was spring break. So he's already got up to 58,000. So, but those were two he caught. He just showed me. But here's what I was going. Okay, here's number 58,000 right here. He said, ironically, it's not a very big one. He said right after that he caught a real big one. Okay, so he did say, I did want to talk about later on. We're talking about bass fishing in general, and the different tournaments and different things he's finding out. For the first time in a very long time, he was talking about the bass, what a good year it's been on bass fishing. He has seen the bass bedding up in the northern part of the bay systems, which is really, he said, this is a very good sign, because they come down the river, right there, brackish water, they're putting beds out there. So he's seen that this past spring. Good news. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I was talking about good feedback from different viewers and all. Bill Roxby is really good about keeping us informed on the Choctawhatchee Bay and over there in our western end of viewing area. He sent this. I want to show it to you, just a little clip here. He said, hey, Coach. Okay, right here. He said, hey, Coach, we witnessed this in the bay. I've never imagined a jellyfish spawn. There had been hundreds, maybe thousands, just right, thousands in the day, boating in a day. You never know what you're going to see. They were just out boating. So anyway, he thought it was a school of redfish, and what it is, this is some jellyfish. Look at all the jellyfish out there in the middle of Choctawhatchee Bay. Is that not some good video there? Look at all of them. Water is pretty clear. This is nature here in our Panhandle Outdoors area. Thousands of them. Bill, thank you so much for sending that. Then he was able to go home. He went home, and then he was able to see this. He had nature all around him. He's watching jellyfish one hour and come back later and seeing deer grazing in the backyard. Okay, that's some good stuff, Bill. Okay, now, we want to go ahead and then we're going to switch back to our pictures. I'm going to do a show just off the stuff y'all seeing in. It's amazing. I don't even have to plan anything. We're going to have guests coming in tomorrow and Monday, some special guests coming in, and we got the Sea Quarters coming in. Well, I'm excited about the Crowder family. Some of them are coming over. They're going to be spending the night here, getting up early, coming to the show, coming over from Tallahassee, talking about the Sea Quarters tournament. So we're going to get talking about that. Now, this time of the year, this is June, so you start thinking about fishing, what's going on. King mackerel really start making an appearance in June, and usually the tarpon, but the tarpon a little bit ahead of schedule, but the kings are showing up, and here's Mitch Coburn sent this one right here. The big kings are starting to show up. Now they're having a Gollywhopper tournament June the 24th, and the Mexico Beach tournament is July 29th. So be looking out for some king mackerel going on. At night time, there's still stuff. Randy Beaver sent this. He's trying to figure it out. The bears are out there. In fact, they're moving around a good bit now. I'm getting a lot of feedback on bears moving around. I thought this is a good picture. He's waiting for it to come down. Where's my food at? Look at this permit caught. Just last, I think Memorial Day. Permit off. This is at Grayton Beach. There you can just tell right away how big it is, and the fins and a little bit of the nose shape. Okay, I'm gonna share this. Okay, this is I wasn't gonna share it, but Wendy posted this. My sweet daughter Wendy posted this last night. This is our graduation last week. I've always wanted to meet him. This is talking about Steve Spurrier. Little did I know it would be at Tommy Oliver Stadium. And Wendy wrote, my hero got to meet one of his heroes last night at Moses' graduation. 2 Gator greats. Although only one of them won the Heisman, and it wasn't me. I got to meet Steve Spurrier, his granddaughter, Amy Moody, daughter, was graduating. So I had a great little visit. We were sort of rushed. He wanted to give him an autograph. I told him I just didn't have time to give it to him now, but we'll get it later. Now, let's get back to the tarpon. Taylor Wheeler Saws with her husband Cole. Today I landed a tarpon, but more importantly, it was with my little boy on board. It just doesn't get any better than that. We love showing him what it's all about, and he loved being out there, watching his mama reel in the big one. And this is on Memorial Day, and here it is right here. What a great picture, and what a special time. Just in the water with that tarpon, and you know that little boy's gonna remember his mama catching that tarpon. Good job, Taylor. And now, here's another one. We showed one yesterday with the Wind Boys. This was Alan Culpepper. Look at that's a nice one now. Nice one there. Good job, August Redding and Alan Culpepper. Now, here, Harrison McElhaney and Chris Kramer caught one. So, when I tell you that school of tarpon showed up, they really did. Okay? Patrice Couch, a public service announcement, and we need to remember this because especially our tourists don't realize it. Y'all, please, when hunting for sand dollars and seashells, let the live ones go. Live sand dollars are brownish gray color. Dead ones are white. The family next to me is collecting live ones by the handful, and they will likely end up being tossed when they start to decay. And I want to talk about that because a lot of times. We see nature and want to pick it up, especially sand dollars. But if they're brownish color, they're still alive. So toss them back. Enough of them will wash ashore. And if you really wanted some, I mean, Shell Shack and places like that has sand dollars, but let those live ones. We're at a point now where so many people out there collecting them and picking them up, and especially tourists come down. I understand the little kids want, ooh, look, Mama, and then they let it dry out and all. They're letting it die and decay, and then what happens? They become real brittle. They'll break next time that you move them around. So Patrice Couch, very strong about that. So we're glad she feels strong about that. Okay, so anyway, our fishing tip of the day. I want to go back to, I've showed it off and on for years, the Cajun, okay, there it is. These popping corks, this is Cajun Thunder, and it originated in Louisiana. And the purpose of it, the noise it makes, you pop it and pop it, and that is what attracts fish. When I first saw them, we talked about being, as a kid, your dad told you, be quiet, don't make any noise. And on these small boats, it would make a lot of difference, scaring the fish away. But you get out in Louisiana, they started using these, and it was to attract the fish, and they work great. You put your little leader in, and according to how deep you want to fish, but if you have live bait, great, but jig, you can put jigs on there, all kinds of different things you can put on there, but I want to recommend in your tackle box, this should be part of your arsenal to make sure you have some popping corks in there. Give them a try. They also come in a lime green color, but I really believe in these, so that's your tip of the day. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. And if you happen to be there over at Memorial Day weekend, it was wall-to-wall people, and the lines, I counted 8 or 9 people on each side of the aisle in line. And that, George had that vision years ago about having a top-notch tackle store with clothing and all. And they're selling as much clothing as they do the tackle, but it's interesting walking through there. Take a look at the times brought to you by them. It's 9:28 to 11:28 this morning, and this evening 9:53 to 11:53. Weather looks sort of good, but sort of iffy for the weekend. So right now, make sure that you plan ahead. It's going to be wind and all. Make sure you wear those life jackets. We've been talking about that. I want to with it being June 1st, each month I try to do a top 10 things to do. So I wrote these down last night. These are a little different from what I normally write down. Instead of just fish this, fish that. Just some different ones. Number one, the first one I wrote down, really Terry inspired me to do it when I sent those pictures. Walk the stump hole. You can park alongside the road. It's public parking. I mean, it's right there by the rocks. Park by the rocks and walk as far as you want to and back. It's an isolated beach. Now, there might be some other people walking, but you're not going to see any buildings. You're not going to see any people out there drinking beer, throwing beer cans around. It's going to be a pure nature, and not many places on the coastline you can walk along that way. You stop and think about it. It used to be a bunch of them, but they're very narrow. So number one, walk the stump hole. Number two, hike, again, talk about Trail State Park once a year, a couple times a year, but this time I talk about it in the fall and in the spring. So this is a good time to go hiking on Trail State Park. Those trails have been fixed back up. They've cut all the trees down that's fallen over. It's in really good shape. You're going to see a lot of nature, a lot of blooms and all. Trail State Park. Number three, this is simple. Make sure you watch a June sunset. The sun setting in June over the water is just really pretty, and over the pine trees or whatever. Number four, this is a different one. Support the Sea Quarters tournament. It is such a good deal. You can support it by buying raffle tickets or however you want to do it. But when they give all their money to leukemia research, it's just a special fishing tournament to me. And if you can support it, that would be awesome. Number five, I've got to say, you got to go brim fishing. Brim fishing is in May and June is superb. So that was number five. Number six, have a fish fry. We're going to have a fish fry this Sunday, and I can't invite all of y'all, but my family is going to be there. We're supposedly hopefully going to catch some snapper Saturday. I suppose it's all depending on if I catch a snapper Saturday. So the pressure's on that we're going to have a fish fry. But have a fish fry with a family or friends, just old school fish fry. Get their grease about $3.50. They don't cook them long. And if the people don't like fried fish, or put some on the grill and grill them with those little wire things I showed you the other day. Not really. Number seven, take a boat ride. You might want to, if you have a boat, just get on and ride around. If you don't have a boat, there are a lot of places renting boats now, pontoon boats and whatever. So just get out there and if you do rent a pontoon boat, know what you're doing. Okay. Number eight, buy some summer outdoor clothes. I'm going to show you some clothes some cool stuff. Academy Sports sent me to show that. I'm impressed with the clothing line at Academy Sports with the shirts and all. So we're going to talk more about that. Number nine, go trolling. And I'm talking about trolling along for the king mackerel. June is a great month to troll for king mackerel. Mahi's out there. You've seen the pictures and all. And the tarpon, I want to talk about how important that tarpon run was coming early. And it's been a recent development, people becoming crazy about tarpon fishing. Look, tarpon are here now. I'll tell you, I showed a picture of my book from 1923 or 24, where one of the fishing guys was catching tarpon up there in Lynn Haven. So they've always been here, but just within the last 7 or 8 years, they've become really popular again up here. So They usually come in June, but they came in May this time because you saw the temperature chart. That's what they followed. That was number 9, and number 10. Just do some family things in outdoors. Have a picnic, or walk along some trail. Go out there, take pictures, outdoor pictures. You know, it's funny how all these prom pictures, everybody takes all kind of stuff, all kind of pictures. Most of them are outdoors because nature is that beautiful and all. Okay, so that's our top 10 things to do in the month of June. Check them off. Make your list and check it off. You may not get to do all of them, but just do some of them. Now, I do have Billy Grantham sent a text. He said yesterday, he said, don't forget to remind people about if they have any live catawbas, he needs some. And a lot of people, you know, we talk every year about a catawba tree, and he, my trees, I got some good folks gave me some the other day. I say the other day, they died last year. They gave them to me a couple years ago. Here's what a catawba tree looks like, okay? If you have any, mine died, the ones I planted in Howard Creek died because of lack of water, but it's called catfish candy, okay? And we're gonna talk more about it. This is what they look like, and they live off the leaf. It's a life cycle to go through. I don't have time to go through the whole thing, but I do want to show you a couple of pictures how I have such fond memories as a kid just watching these things. They do have a natural enemy in the wasp, but they used to be prevalent. They used to be just prevalent in this area. Now we don't have a lot of them left. So if you have a catawba, it's called Billy Grantham. I would like to get my trees started back. I'm gonna try to get some more going. I just believe in them strongly. What happened, went through a drought and I was not able to keep them watered. So our catawba worms, catawba trees are important to the Florida Panhandle. Right? Natural, all natural bait, and that's all the people used to use for catfishing. Run out of time. Y'all be sure to tune in tomorrow, have to give away some seafood. Y'all do something good today for your fellow man. You have a wonderful day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.